CBS Monday. You'll never guess why this girl is out in the middle of the night.
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
But the real mystery is where she came from.
Have you been in there?
No. Is there a problem?
Oh, yeah.
An all-new Family Law, CBS Monday.
This week, Dave's all new with Billy Crystal, John Travolta, David Spade, and Kevin Spacey. Monday, don't miss David Hyde Pierce and You Too. Now your local news.
Coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, for the second time since the September 11th attacks, recovery efforts at Ground Zero were halted. We'll show you why. And many people are flocking to bookstores to find out more about the terrorists who attacked our country. Stay with us. Eyewitness News at 11 is next.
13 WMAZ, your Central Georgia Lottery station.
Live from Atlanta, the Georgia Lottery presents Cash 4 and Fantasy 5.
Good evening, I'm Carol Blackman with Catherine Green of KPMG. First, we have 4 Cash 4 machines, each with balls numbered 0 through 9. Time now to draw tonight's Cash 4 winning numbers. Our first number is 4. That's followed by 4. And then we have the number 6. And then our last number is 1. If you have 4, 4, 6, 1 in any winning combination, congratulations. Now let's see how lucky tonight's Fantasy 5 is for you. We have 39 balls mixing. You can win by matching 3 or more. Our first number is 6. That's followed by 32. Then we have 29, 18, and then 30. Our Fantasy 5 numbers are 6, 32, 29, 18, and 30. Don't forget, Wednesday night's Lotto South Jackpot is worth an estimated annuitized $2 million to a single winner. Good luck.
Coverage straight from the heart. You're watching 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News at 11.
Central Georgia, get ready to bring out the blanket. Lee Span is going to tell you just how long it will be, how long this cold will be tonight, rather. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dre Clark in for Amy Flesh. We'll have more of the cold temperatures a little later in the newscast, but first. The Bibb County Sheriff's Department is trying to piece together clues about a hit and run that left one man dead. According to Lieutenant Albert Hall, the body was found around 6 o'clock this evening. Investigators believe the man was hit and run on I-475 southbound. The Sheriff's Department is not releasing the man's name at this time. The Sheriff's Department and the Coroner's Office are investigating the case. And families of the victims of the World Trade Center attacks gather for prayer today. Relatives, co-workers, rescue workers, and political leaders mourn the 4,000 people who are still missing since September 11th and those whose bodies were found. Recovery work at Ground Zero paused for the memorial service. Family members will get urns containing ashes and soil from the site to remember their loved ones. And since the September 11th attacks last month, Americans are getting a crash course on Afghanistan, terrorism, and biological warfare. You're watching the news, but that's not the only place you're picking up your information. Anne-Marie Rogers found out that more people are spending time and money in bookstores. She joins us from the Macon newsroom with more. Good evening, Anne-Marie.
Good evening, Dre. One Macon bookstore manager says book sales are up. People are buying books and magazines about terrorism, biological warfare, and Osama bin Laden. One customer I spoke with says he doesn't mind paying to learn more about what led to the recent terrorism. Byron Price is taking a look at another part of the world, the Middle East.
I have a globe at home, but it's kind of small. So I want to see blown up where all these little towns and people are talking, where they're located.
Price says he's curious about Afghanistan and the role that country is playing in this terrorism war.
You need to know the cultures and how these different cultures clash and move along, because just because a country is geographically next to somebody doesn't mean they get along.
At Books A Million, customers can find books on terrorism, the key players behind it, and books on the history of the Twin Towers. One store manager says customers are paying to keep themselves informed. That means sales are up. And the manager says right now there's one book customers keep requesting.
Bin Laden is the life story of Osama bin Laden. We cannot keep that in.
Baldwin says Germs, a book about biological warfare, also stays on the bestsellers list. And people are reading about the jihad, learning more about the Holy War. Byron Price says he will take his new map home to study up. Dre?
All right, thank you, Anne-Marie. The manager says people are also searching for another book called The Final Stand. It was commentator Barbara Alston's last book. She died on the plane that struck the Pentagon. Well, every once in a while, you'll meet a person whose attitude and outlook on life is infectious. That's the kind of person Esther Fussell is. Esther helps out with lots of different organizations, but one that's near and dear to her heart is the Reach to Recovery program, a program that lends support to breast cancer patients. As Lori Johnson shows us, Esther realizes how important that support is because she's a breast cancer survivor of 11 years.
Is there another person who has survived this? I would just like to see somebody. I would just like to talk to somebody who has gone through this.
That somebody is Esther Fussell. Esther is a Reach to Recovery volunteer.
Reach out in the time of need to another person.
Esther, along with thousands of other volunteers across the country, visit one-on-one with breast cancer patients. During sessions similar to this one, Esther teaches volunteers how to talk to women and men dealing with the disease.
There has never been a time in the 11 years or so that I have been doing this that I have made a visit to a patient that I have not come away a better person.
Hi! Reach to Recovery visits are special. Take this visit with cancer survivor Valeria Williams. It's more than patient to patient.
Don't spank me. Okay. All right.
But friend to friend.
Well, it makes you that you're not the only one with it and feeling that nobody cares.
Esther's best friend and cousin Agnes Atkins nominated her for the From the Heart Award.
And I think the Child from the Heart really expresses exactly what she is because she does everything from the heart.
I'm not doing it for recognition, or sometimes people do things to enhance their resume. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not interested in enhancing my resume. This is what I do.
Even though she has breast cancer, she never thinks about herself. She's always thinking about other people.
Esther's dedication to others has earned her national recognition. But it's the work she does with each individual person that's most rewarding.
My real feeling is that this happened with me the way that it did, so I could be well and I could do what it is that I'm doing.
This former teacher wants to pass on this life lesson.
There is life after breast cancer. Breast cancer isn't a death sentence anymore.
Now, Esther has received many other awards and recognitions over the years, including Senior Cherry Blossom Queen in 2000. She was also cited in the first edition of Who's Who in American Vocational Education. Well, Halloween not only brings out just trick-or-treaters, it also brings out vandals. Every year, many homes turn into targets for egg throwers and paper pushers. But this year, you may not have to lift a finger to clean the mess up. Heather Sell and Nikki Pickman are church members. Now, they're business partners.
Well, if someone gets their house trashed, messed up, toilet papered, vandalized by people, they call us the next day and then we come and we'll clean it up for them.
The business is called Halloween Insurance. Sell got the idea from a website. She's hoping the concept will catch on in Central Georgia.
We're trying to get the church well known in the community, and we're trying to help people.
Sell expects the business to do well because she's already hearing rumors of people planning to wreak havoc on homeowners.
I've heard people talk about already, people in my class talk about taking baseball bats and smashing, mailboxes.
But some people in Sell's community aren't jumping at the opportunity because they don't like the idea of her church's connection to Halloween.
We're not trying to participate in Halloween. We're trying to clean up what, Satan's trying to bring down.
Sell says all of the profits that come from the business will be used to help maintain the church's food bank and fund other community projects.
We're trying to help people, and we just want people to know that we're there for them if they need us.
Now listen up closely. Here are the prices for the insurance. If you live in a single-story home, the cost is $3. Two-story homes cost $5. Now if you choose not to get the insurance, the team will still come out and clean up your home, but the price is double. Now for more information, you can call 478-452-1721. Well, the Indiana Halloween party gave these dogs a chance to strut their stuff. We'll have that story. Plus, little ones throughout Macon and Central Georgia headed downtown this afternoon. We'll tell you why. But before we take a break, here's a look at tonight's winning Cash 3 numbers. They are 6, 8, 0. We're back in a moment.
Portions of this broadcast brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
I quit my job today.
I met this really cool guy on the internet. He's 30.
Life throws all kinds of curves. Fortunately, with its advanced safety systems, the smooth-riding RX 300 is designed to better handle the ones on the road.
Hey, Mom, you know that tattoo we talked about?
How you manage the rest is up to you. All for just $34,530. Test drive one at Butler Lexus in Macon.
When FoodMax asked you what you wanted in a store, you said more low prices. So we've lowered more prices on every aisle and on the brands you buy most, which means you'll save more than ever before. And with brighter stores, fresher produce, and more USDA choice beef, it's easy to see why people everywhere are making the change to FoodMax. If you haven't been to FoodMax lately, it's time you made a change. To FoodMax, the change will do you good.
The low price places, FoodMax.
Ford drives America. And right now, Ford's making it easier for America to drive best-selling Ford trucks. Introducing 0% financing on all 2001 and 2002 trucks, including Ford F-150, Ranger, Super Crew, even Super Duty. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save on America's toughest trucks. See your neighborhood Ford dealer today with this limited time offer.
In a recent side-by-side comparison, it wasn't surprising that Mercury Mountaineer beat Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited with more power, 3 rows of seats instead of 2, and more maximum towing capacity. In other words, all the things most important to SUV owners. The surprising thing is where this comparison took place, Jeep's own website. Now there's more good news with 0% financing on Mountaineer. Plus, returning owners save even more with $750 loyalty cashback. See your Mercury dealer now.
Well, gunmen stormed into a Christian church in Pakistan this morning, shooting worshipers and leaving 16 people dead. That's the release tonight's 13 Newsreel. At least 100 people were in the church when the 6 attackers arrived on motorcycles and began shooting. Survivors say worshipers tried to flee and hide under pews to escape the bullets. Authorities say this is the first attack on Christians in recent memory. Jahan Sadat, widow of assassinated Egyptian President Anwar Sadat, is the newest recipient of the Pearl S. Buck Award. She was honored for championing women's rights issues in the Middle East. She told the audience that despite the September 11th terrorist attacks, she does believe there will be peace in the world during her lifetime. And check this out. Some Indiana canines got into the Halloween spirit this afternoon. About 24 dogs trotted down the streets of Indianapolis wearing their favorite Halloween costumes, and they even got some tasty treats on their way. The doggy parade was part of Indianapolis' 3rd annual Halloween party, if I got that right. Well, Disney's Halloween costumes and GM vehicles are among the items in this week's Recall Wrap. Here's Consumer Watch reporter Susan Christopher.
If you have a daughter or granddaughter who plans to be Princess Ariel for Halloween, listen up. Disney recalled more than 50,000 of the Little Mermaid costumes because they can easily catch fire. That's a violation of the Federal Flammable Fabrics Act. Disney knows of 2 costumes igniting. One burned a 4-year-old girl. The costume has a green skirt with 2 layers of netting and a sequined purple metallic bodice with a picture of Ariel. The costumes were sold in sizes 2 to 4, 4 to 6X, and 8 to 10. The Disney Store sold the costumes from July through October 2000. The Disney Store catalog and website sold them from July 2000 through January 2001. The recall does not include Ariel costumes sold before July 2000. Parents return the costumes to any Disney store or to the Disney Store catalog for a refund and a $10 gift certificate. For more information, call 1-800-328-5902. Check your freezers. Sanderson Farms recalled some of its sausage and ham products. They may contain MSG, which isn't listed on the packages. If you have an MSG sensitivity, it could make you sick. The affected product is the Sanderson Farms sausage and ham jambalaya with rice in 2.25-pound packages. You should also look for establishment number EST 1600 inside the USDA seal of inspection. Sanderson Farms produced them from August 13th through September 19th. Several packaging codes are affected. If you need more information, call Sanderson Farms at 601-649-4030. Return the product to the store for a refund. General Motors minivan owners, there's word of another recall, the second this year, for a problem with its power sliding doors. GM recalled 314,000 Chevy Venture, Pontiac Transport Montana, and Oldsmobile Silhouette minivans. The affected model years are 1997 to 2001. The doors could jam in the unlatched position, which means they could open suddenly while driving. So far, there are no reports of injuries or accidents. GM will make those repairs for free. GM owners should be getting information in the mail on that recall. And finally, Ford vehicle owners, if you've had ignition problems, you might be getting some money back. As part of a settlement, Ford will reimburse owners of 1983 through 1995 Ford cars and trucks with distributor-mounted TFI ignition systems that failed. Only vehicles with less than 100,000 miles at the time of the repair will qualify. You don't need to have your receipts. Owners can sign a sworn statement saying they paid for the repairs. Ford says it will try to notify affected owners by mail after the agreement becomes effective in 3 months. Ford's website will have claim forms, and Ford will set up a toll-free number and mailing address for information. I'll keep you posted on that. That's it for this week's Recall Wrap. Stay safe.
All right, thank you, Susan. Well, in case you haven't heard, it's very cold outside. But is this cold snap here to stay? Let's go to Lee Spann for a check on tonight's weather. Lee.
Thanks, Ray. If you look outside right now, it's a very clear Sunday night. 35 degrees is your temperature, dew point at 30. Winds calm, and we're going to see if that weather is going to stick around. Well, I'll tell you about it in just a few minutes.
And as we go to break, here's a look at tonight's winning Cash 4 numbers. They are 4, 4, 6, 1, and your winning Fantasy 5 numbers 6, 32, 29, 18, and 30.
Nobody sells Toyotas for less than Eddie Wiggins Toyota in Warner Robins. Right now, get 0% financing on over 200 fresh Toyotas. Plus, get up to $3,000 cash back and incentives. Eddie Wiggins Toyota in Warner Robins. Nobody treats you better.
Introducing 0% APR financing, or up to $1,000 cash back on every new 2002 Corolla, 4Runner, or Tundra.
Save by zero.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you. Time to answer your questions and make sure you understand your medications. So the most important thing we put in a bottle is time.
Medicap Pharmacy.
We'll always make time for you.
In light of unprecedented action by General Motors, Buick announces 0.0% APR financing. Now, through October 31st, get interest-free financing on all new Buicks. Every Century, LeSabre, Park Avenue, Regal, and the all-new Rendezvous. Pay no interest, 0% APR through October 31st. Keep America rolling. See your nearest Buick dealer today.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Nobody sells Toyotas for less than Eddie Wiggins Toyota in Warner Robins. Right now, get up to $3,000 cash back on a new Toyota. Plus, we'll give you more for your trade. Get your trade-in value in 15 minutes or less. Eddie Wiggins Toyota in Warner Robins. Nobody treats you better.
Well, Lee, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm not complaining about this cold weather. This is right up my alley. But you know what? It's not about me. It's about you, the viewer.
I heard that he likes cold weather.
So maybe you can give them some
rumor going around. Now, I'll tell you that this morning we did get a very cool morning. In fact, it was the coolest that it's ever been on this day. It was actually record-breaking temperatures. Now let's go ahead and look outside so that you can see that. And as you can, well, our low today was 27, and if you look at the record, it is 31 degrees set back in 1957. So from now on, this will always say 2001. So let's go ahead and take a look at your Skywatch Doppler radar. Yes, it is a perfectly clear night out there, so we can skip right past it and check out your temperatures throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and look at your daily planner. Again, we're going to wake up to a cool 31 degrees, very sunny as we've moved our time back, so it is sunny now at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to get on up to about 63 degrees. This is what we saw in the way of cloud cover here across central Georgia, across the entire eastern seaboard. In fact, it was very clear, just a few clouds off to the east. Now that's because of this high pressure that's been sitting here on the eastern seaboard, and it's been counterclockwise motion is now going to start bringing in easterly winds off of the Atlantic. So those clouds that you saw might be making their way toward us as well. You see this green area down here on Tuesday morning. Throughout Tuesday, it's going to start creeping up towards central Georgia, and we may have some more cloud cover in our future. Tonight, temperature is getting down to 31 degrees. Now again, that is freezing. There is a slight freeze warning out there. Shouldn't be that bad, just a little bit of frost. But do remember to bring in your pets. In fact, whenever there's cold weather, you need to be sure that you cover up plants or bring them inside with your pets. Watch for heaters. Make sure the pets that you bring in, your children or you yourself, don't knock over those heaters and start a fire. And you might want to start dripping those pipes as well, just to make sure your pipes don't freeze. Now tomorrow, temperatures are going to get up to about 63 degrees. It's going to start our warm-up as that air is going to start coming in from the east. And you can check that out in your 7-day forecast, where you see, yes, it's going to be clear for the first part of the work week, but then as the week progresses, temperatures start to rise, heading up back to normal, so Dre will not be excited, and then a little more cloud cover in there as well by the weekend.
You know, that's the disappointing part. I mean, it's like it's cold one day, and then it's warm in the day, then it's 30 degrees at night. It's kind of...
Dressing in layers is the way we like to describe that, because during the day when it's starting to heat up, take off the extra sweater, extra long sleeve shirt, and then put it right back on when it gets cool.
But that is good advice about those heaters, because every year we hear about people starting fires because they're not being responsible with heaters. So that's very good advice.
Well, thank you very much.
And a very good forecast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. All right, coming up in Sports Telehughes, we'll have all the latest winners and losers. Stay with us.
In a recent side-by-side comparison, it wasn't surprising that Mercury Mountaineer beat Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited with more power, 3 rows of seats instead of 2, and more maximum towing capacity. In other words, all the things most important to SUV owners. The surprising thing is where this comparison took place, Jeep's own website. Now there's more good news with 0% financing on Mountaineer. Plus, returning owners save even more with $750 loyalty cashback. See your Mercury dealer now.
With McDonald's new taste menu, there's always a new reason to smile. Like our new Bacon Cheddar Big and Tasty. Just wait till you taste it. Hurry in and try our new Bacon Cheddar Big and Tasty before it's gone.
We love to see you smile.
If there was ever a perfect time to own a new Chevrolet, that time is now. Until November 18th, Chevrolet is proud to offer 0% APR financing on every new car and truck we build. From Silverado to Trailblazer, Cavalier to Impala. They're the cars and trucks that America depends on. And you can own one interest-free. It's an offer you don't see every day, and you won't see it much longer. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer by November 18th.
Come to Food Lion. Price is so low, it's scary. Did you compare prices before you came to Food Lion?
I compared prices. I got the different prices from everywhere until I found the lowest price.
And now here you are at Food Lion.
Yep.
Now, is that just for baby formula or for other things as well?
No, other things as well. The prices are the lowest. I have a lot of customers coming up to me every day and telling me just how much they're saving and how much they like our store.
Why do you come to Food Lion?
The prices. Most definitely, they're low. Lower than anywhere.
Happy Halloween from Food Lion. Whoa, jeez, don't do that.
With McDonald's new taste menu, there's always a new reason to smile. Like with our new Bacon Cheddar Crispy Chicken Sandwich, topped with melting cheddar cheese and 3 strips of bacon. One bite and you'll definitely be smiling.
We love to see you smile.
Ford
drives America. And right now, Ford's making it easier for America to drive best-selling Ford trucks. Introducing 0% financing on all 2001 and 2002 trucks, including Ford F-150, Ranger, Super Crew, even Super Duty. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save on America's toughest trucks. See your neighborhood Ford dealer today for this limited-time offer.
Portions of this broadcast are brought to you by your local Ford dealer.
All right, Telly Hughes joins us now with a look at sports. And Telly, the New York Yankees are down, but obviously not out. Not just yet.
Yeah, I mean, every series they seem like they're down, but you never can count them out. I mean, as we've seen in the past. Game 2 of the World Series was tonight in Arizona, where the Diamondbacks were going for their second win of the series. The Fall Classic has been kind to the Snakes so far. They're undefeated in their first appearance. We take you to the second inning, man on first, and this is Danny Batista. He hits this one to right field, and former Brave Reggie Sanders is on this imaginary horse, and he rounds third. Strong throw to the plate, but it's too far up the line. He scores. The Backs are up 1-0. Kurt Schilling watching his boy do his thing. Randy Johnson gets Scott Brocier's look, and Johnson had 11 strikeouts, but in the 7th inning, here's the big blow. 2 men on, and Matt Williams goes deep, and he hits that one very, very, very far to put the Diamondbacks up for good. Let's look at this one more time. This is getting the ball on the sweet part of the bat right there, and he had no doubts about that one leaving. The Snakes went up 4-0. The D-backs blanked the Yankees 4-0 to take a 2-0 lead in the series. Randy Johnson knew he had to pitch a good game because they weren't going to score 9 runs again.
We weren't going to probably get 9 runs today either. So I knew that I was going to have to pitch a good game, especially against Andy Pettitte.
And a good game, yes, he did. Pitch 11 strikeouts, like I mentioned. In football, the Atlanta Falcons took the weekend off to kind of chill out at home. They had a bye this week, and they'll be back in action next week. But there were some other very interesting matchups around the league. We take you to the banks of the Mississippi. Rams led this game 24-6 at half, but third quarter 24-22. Aaron Brooks fined Willie Jackson for the touchdown. The Saints missed the 2-point conversion. They still lead 28-24. Fourth quarter now, Kurt Warner is flushed out of the pocket. Trunk Kennedy gets the ball, and he fumbles. The Saints come up with it. That's a huge turnover, and Trunk not happy. And then 1 second left. Well, actually, this is a field goal attempt by John Carney, and Dre Bly from the Rams gets the block, but he was offsides, doesn't count. And as the clock winds down, it'll be 1 second. John Carney gets another try, and he nails this 28-yard winner. Saints win 34-31. The Rams allowed the Saints to come back from that huge halftime deficit. The Rams lose for the first time this season, and Kurt Warner loses for the first time as a starter at home. Let's go to the Windy City now, Chicago and 49ers. And this is Jeff Garcia driving back and finds former Georgia standout Garrison Hurst, and he rumbles in for the touchdown. That put them up 21-9, but the Bears will come back in overtime. They pulled it out 37-31, and can you believe the Chicago Bears are 5-1 and resides in first place in the NFC Central. And the Carolina Panthers continue their losing ways. The Jets only beat them by 1 point, so that's saying something about the Jets as well. Let's shake down the NFC West picture. The Falcons were idle this week, and that's how they remained in the standings. The Rams are the last team to lose this season, but they still hold a tight grip on first place, followed by, as you see, the 49ers and the Saints. On to the fast lanes now. NASCAR burned rubber to the west for the warmer climates in the Checker Auto Parts 500. Phoenix and International Raceway was where the wheels were turning to the Jeff Burton beat. But we will see it was hot, and Jeff Leffler tires could not take the heat as his rubber came off. But Jeff Burton knew how to handle this track. He goes on to win his second race of the year and his second in a row in Phoenix. Jeff Burton became the second driver to win back-to-back races in Phoenix. Davey Allison was the other driver to do that. We see Mike Wallace, Ricky Rudd, Matt Kenseth, and Tony Stewart. Then we see Ricky Craven come in 8th, Dale Jarrett in 9th, and Johnny Benson rounds it off at 10. On to the links now. The tour was in Pine Mountain, Georgia this weekend, and it came down to one Georgian trying to defend his title. But Chris DeMarco started the day in 4th place, but with this putt, he grabbed a share of the lead. And then we would go into sudden death. And on 18, DeMarco would par the 18th hole once again. And it sets this up. Former Georgia Tech standout David Duval's trying to defend his title, and he misses this putt right here. That would have forced it to another sudden death. DeMarco wins. And then now one college score I would like to pass to you. Mercer women's team lost tonight 2-0 to the University of Alabama, Birmingham. So
any idea how much that guy won for that putt?
Pretty sure thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Wrong career.
Wrong. Just for one day, too.
All right. Coming up, we'll have one last look at your work week forecast. See, I got it right. And we'll tell you why these little ones were in downtown Macon today. Stay with us.
Portions of this program brought to you by Jeep. There's only one.
Freedom should be accessible to everyone. That's why you can now get 0% financing on Jeep Grand Cherokee and Jeep Wrangler. And if you buy now, you'll make no monthly payments for 90 days. And while you can't put a price on freedom, you have to admit it's a pretty good deal. Now for a limited time, get 0% financing on Grand Cherokee and Wrangler.
On the outside, all appears quiet, but on the inside, the Medical Center of Central Georgia's experienced team of doctors, nurses, and many other healthcare professionals are providing high-quality healthcare around the clock. While most are sleeping peacefully, only one hospital is staffed and ready for situations that may arise anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Only at the Medical Center of Central Georgia.
I quit my job today.
I met this really cool guy on the internet. He's 30.
Life throws all kinds of curves. Fortunately, with its advanced safety systems, the smooth riding RX 300 is designed to better handle the ones on the road.
Hey, Mom, you know that tattoo we talked about?
How you manage the rest is up to you. All for just $34,530. Test drive one at Butler Lexus in Macon.
At GMC, our engineers have been designing trucks exclusively for 100 years. Now, we want to help keep America rolling with interest-free financing on all GMC trucks, vans, and SUVs. The power of Sierra, the agility of Yukon, the comfort and luxury of Envoy. Every new GMC comes with 0% APR through November 18th. Upgrade to professional grade and help keep America rolling. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Well, they came out today fully dressed in Halloween attire. Kids of all ages enjoyed activities and games, including bobbing for pumpkins at today's Pumpkin Pops at the Grand Opera House. Kids not only got a chance to get a jump start on Halloween activities, they also got a visit from 13 WMAZ's own magician, Mr. Mike Fuller. Now, Leafs fans are going to work some magic and give you your work week forecast.
Thanks, Dre. Let's go ahead and look at your temperatures. As you can see, it's getting up to only 63 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be a very clear day. But all of you off to the bus stop tomorrow on the Monday morning, 31 degrees. Be sure to bundle up. Actually, you know that we hit a record-breaking temperature today, and so did the people over in Arizona at the World Series. Only it was a high.
Yeah.
There was a high temperature, like in the mid-90s.
Yeah, the only thing that's hot around here is someone's car turning the heater up real high because going outside is not fun.
Not exactly.
All right, you guys finished? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 11. Join us tomorrow at 5 a.m. for morning. Enjoy. Have a good night for now, and stay warm.